Hello, everybody. This is Brad Bolenbaugh of Apostle Games coming to you live from the soon-to-be springtime weather of North Carolina and the United States of America. With the season warming up, we've been hard at work on some new features in Age of Tribulation. So come on in and let's check it out. Okay guys, so here we are looking at the world map here, and today in devlog number 6, I want to go over the new UI HUD. HUD, H-U-D, stands for Heads Up Display, and this is what you're going to see. It's basically just like a graphical overlay of the entire game that gives you, your player, lots of information about essentially what's going on, and it updates in real time. That's what a HUD essentially does. I worked, all the way through the second half of January, all the way up to the second half of February to get this HUD set up. I'm very, very proud of it. And I'm just so excited to show you guys this. So as time moves along, as we stand out here in the world map, you're going to see the weather changing, different parts of the UI changing, and I'll explain that as I go along. But before I do, I'd like to just give a huge shout out to a developer named Some Random Dude. He's a JavaScript guru who created a third-party software called the HUD Maker for the engine that this game runs on, and I was able to use that software for free, mind you, to really speed up the process of designing this HUD. So he probably shaved 6 months worth of time to get this working the way that I want it to, the look and the function, and it functions perfectly. I'm just so happy with it, and so a huge shout out to him. Thank you for making that third-party software. Okay, so let's first start. There are different sections, and I want to start with the first one up here. We got this section, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In section 1 here, we have essentially just the name of the map that you're in. So because we're in the world map, we're in Hyrinthia South right now. If I were to go to this town, which is King's Landing, then this would change to reflect that. Up here, sorry about the rain and thunder sound. But you have a button up here that is showing a yellow light, and you will either see yellow, green, or red, essentially in every map. The green button means you're in a friendly zone and you're not going to be attacked. Yellow means you're in the world map area and you will hit random encounters on occasion. So just be wary of that. And then if you're in a red lit area, then that means you're in a combat zone. So let me go ahead and walk into King's Landing. And so it displays the name of the town that we're in, and as you can see, the light turned green. So that's what that basically functions up there. Coming back out of the town, up here at the top left, you have your character's portrait, along with the 2 mercenaries or followers that are with you. As of right now, you have a dog that is a follower of yours, and I'll talk about him in a later development log because I'm working on mercenaries and followers right now. But you have your portrait, their portrait, your level, their level, and then you have your maximum health or life points and your maximum faith points, and then your current life and faith points, and then of course your followers have the exact same thing, and these gauges move down and they synchronize with whatever your current level is. Down here is the survival section information. You have 3 different gauges. Over here you have your food gauge, your water gauge, and your sleep gauge, which is measured or called morsels of food, which are in your stomach. You have cups of water in your stomach, and you have cognition, which, let me open up the menu here, and that's reflected over here. So you have food, water, and sleep, and that's counted by a morsel count, cups count, and cognition count. And these gauges synchronize with these numbers over here, and then of course I have an icon to represent what these are, and they update of course in real time as time moves by, which I'll talk about that in a second. These boxes above the gauges are the different passive states that your character will inherit as your levels of food, water, and sleep drop. The maximum you can have is 18 in each of these categories, but you can actually get a passive to raise these. When you hit 0, food, water, or sleep, you're going to get a passive that'll pop up here, an icon that'll show you that you're suffering a status effect. If these ever drop to -12, which is the lowest that they could be, then a second, much more harsh passive will be applied to your character. So you'll be able to see that at a glance. In the middle here is your experience bar that obviously fills up. And then when you hit the number that is needed, then you'll level up. And then over here deals with everything having to do with weather and time. So here at this top box, time is constantly counting when you're on the world map. That's the only time that it counts, unless of course you sleep or when you're praying to restore your faith. Then time also moves in that area. But when you're inside of a town or a combat zone, time effectively stops counting. So let's walk back into King's Landing. And you can see that time is now paused. It's not moving now. And let's see here, let's go ahead and go back out here again so that you can see time move. The current time is always displayed in 2-hour increments over here to the right. And then you have an actual graphical clock, which just changed as I was drawing a little circle here. It is now 6 p.m. and this clock, ticks as it goes around. And then of course, the graphic here changes according to whatever time of day it is. So there's 6 different stages of time during the day. It starts out at 6 a.m. is early morning, and then 8 a.m. is late morning, and then 10 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. is daytime, and then at 6 p.m. like it is right now, it's early evening. And then at 8 o'clock, when this changes, it's going to become late evening, and then at 10 o'clock p.m. all the way until 4 a.m. will be considered nighttime. And that plays a factor because there are passive skills or passive abilities that your character can get that correspond with the time of day. Also, as I mentioned in another devlog, the degree or the difficulty and the number of enemies is also dictated by time. So at night, there's more enemies and they're harder, but also loot is going to be better at night than during the day. So if your character's not as powerful, it's better to venture into combat zones during the day than it would be at night. And then evening and morning time is kind of like a transitionary period. It's kind of in between night and day. So time really dictates a lot in Age of Tribulation, so that's why it's so important that the character always knows what time it is. As I was saying, also, time counts in 2-hour increments. I decided not to do it in 1-hour increments or by minute because it really didn't add to the game anything new, and it was just a giant scripting and coding headache to do that. So I went ahead and just did it in 2-hour increments, which really works out very, very nicely. As you can see, it's getting darker as night comes in. Let me walk over here, and also your torch automatically turned on. And something else I added, towns now light up at night. So you'll be able to see towns a little bit easier on the world map. You'll be able to see a glow and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the new HUD. I hope you guys like the direction that Age of Tribulation is going. I'm really, really excited about this new HUD. I think it's really, really cool. And it just, yeah. So in Devlog 7, we're going to be going over the combat HUD, which is a whole different beast altogether. It really looks awesome. And there's so much more information during combat that's going to allow you to be able to play more tactically and more strategically. So I'm really excited to show that to you guys next month. And, we just keep inching closer and closer to a demo being released. I'm hoping again for maybe a July-August demo release, somewhere in that time frame. I'm not exactly sure when yet, but things are moving really well for Age of Tribulation. We're right on schedule where I thought we'd be, and we will be either in the June Steam Next Fest or we will be in the October Steam Next Fest. If you're interested in this title, please support us on Steam, Wishlist, get involved on Discord. And yeah, hope you guys like the direction we're going in. All right, everyone take care, and I will talk to you next month. God bless. Rad out.